today's video is it's gonna be probably a multi-day video because I just wanted to kind of do the preliminary stuff right now. But as you could probably see, that is one of the chain guides. That's floppy, right? Because it's on the pivot point of one of the mount bolts. Well, it's supposed to be connected to something. It's sitting like this right now from the top, and somewhere right here it broke off in there. So now every time I drive it, you hear it just kind of slapping around. Alright, I'm gonna take off the valve cover too. Got that. There's a distributor with the wires. Pull the wires off. Wires are just going to go off this side. We're going to take off these two bolts that hold it in, and then this plug right here that's wired into it. Now this whole thing should just kind of pop off. So we're gonna get this thing at top dead center at the moment. So I'm gonna rotate the bottom of the crankshaft, and we're gonna rotate this to get to top dead center. I'm gonna loosen up the mount bolts for this clutch fan. Got the clutch fan. I gotta loosen up this power steering real quick. I gotta rotate it to where I can actually get to the bolts, and then I'll take off the belt for it. The torque, and then it slides off. Alright, I got that bungeed off to the side. Now we have access to this stuff over here. We're gonna take out this one, and maybe this one. And I guess for easy access, might as well take off this bracket. Next, I'm gonna take off this what's it called, power steering like pulley, the one that tightens it, the tensioner. Take this one off, take off this whole bracket because one of the mounts is back here. It's hard to get to, so I'm gonna put a couple minutes. I already kind of spent some minutes because I took the radiator out and disconnected like the thermostat hose and shit. It's over there. Anyways, I already got the crank pulley bolt out, or broke it loose, or took it off. I'm gonna put a couple threads on because I'm pulling this crank pulley off. Alright, for this AutoZone tool, it's a 16 millimeter. And this is coming off a lot easier than I thought it was going to be. And bam. Here is the crank pulley. And later on, we're going to line this key up with the key that's in here. I'm going to tearing up the clamp. That's not pretty. All this gunk. Yep, 12 millimeter bolts. 4 bolts. weird. I thought it was gonna be a one piece. But anyways, here is what I'm talking about. That's the backwards D that's attached to the other side. That's why you want to make sure that you're lined up correctly when you go back on. Alright, so I'm going to be taking off this engine, the tranny bracket. It's held on by two, it looks like 14s down here, and then two up here. And the reason why we're taking this off is to be able to get to the oil pan bolts, mounting bolts. There you go. All four are out. And so was the bracket. See how dirty this shit is, man? That's crazy. Alright. Now that I got the bracket off, break the torque on these sway bar. And now that I broke the torque, pull them off. That off. Put a wrench on the top side to hold it, and then I'm gonna break it off all the way off with this ratchet gun, just because it's vibration will help out instead of just fucking it spinning. And there you go. So I gotta get that pickup tube and this little bracket off, so I'll be able to pull it out. Got it. Now this tube should just kind of pop off. Alright, I got the oil pan out, or sorry, oil pickup tube out. And now this whole thing should just be able to slide right out. Out of the way. There you go. I had to clean all this off, all this gasket shit off. But now we can take off the whole front cover. So look at this little discovery. What does that look like to you? It looks like the whole reason why I'm doing this shit. Sucker must have broke off. Look at that. It's disintegrated. I was just gonna fucking drop it just enough to take off the front so I could take off the front cover and change the thing. But I'm glad I fucking decided to not, or to actually do more work. Look at that. Nice little chunk right there. Yeah, this whole fucking guy just broke. Y'all that. Time to take off the front cover. And it's just an assortment of bolts. You got 4 10s up top. We got 12, 12, 12, 12, 10 or 8, 10 or 8, 12, and this whole cover should come off now. There you go. Use like this cradle, and I just press it. And there you go. is your timing cover. So this is where the water pump flows into it. Oh, look at that. That is crazy. I'm glad I did not wait. I was gonna just run with the, I thought it was just chain slap, like I said. I thought it was just a tensioner that was bad. And I was just gonna run it, but I'm glad I didn't, because look at that. And then this is the flappy flap. So this thing is just fucking slapping everything. First, I'm gonna mark my timing chain in all this. Yeah, mark my timing chain and everything, and we'll start disassembling the timing. All right, this is a what is it? A 6, T6 or whatever they call them. Whatever. If it works, it works. Before I take them off, I'm going to actually mark where the timing chain is, because I don't want to accidentally skip a tooth on accident. Probably not going to happen, but better safe than sorry. No indentation on this bottom crank sprocket thingy. So I'm going to make my own little indentation. Even though I don't have to even mark it right here, because it's already the same thing. But I'm going to mark this chain link. And now I can go ahead and pull off the chain, and this way if I drop it, I already know where the timing is. And I'll do this one too, just in case. Tens. Yep, there it goes. All right, here's the one that it gets tensioned on. You can see the grooves at over the time, over its life. All right. Alright, let it fall. And boom, here's their timing chain. Alright, so got it laid out, same length, same amount of chains and everything. This is the marker I did for the crankshaft, and over here are the two markings for the camshaft. So I'm going to mark the same identical ones. Yeah, so I already broke the torque because I knew I was gonna have to do this, and I didn't want to rotate the cam on accident. But then that's why I marked it anyway, so if anything I just rotate it back to where I need it. Hence why I marked the links.
Yep. So everything is standard except for the brake bleeder screws. Those are metric. It's a 9 and 11 millimeter for front and back.
Really?
Yeah. The fuel tank won't hold pressure. It's pressurized to the 12.
Yeah, it's a pretty clean surface. I'm just gonna go ahead and hit it more off camera, because there's no point of seeing me clean and clean and clean. All right. So I'm gonna go ahead and install this top chain. I marked it backwards. This top chain with that link. You can see how that one lines up too. So now we got both the links lined up. We'll go ahead and go over, come under, get under this crankshaft setup, have a friend or some hold it, just hold it from the middle, and I'm gonna go down in the bottom and line up the link, and once I line up the link on the bottom, you can go ahead and then he can go ahead and try to put the cam gear on this alignment hole. Good?
Give me a second.
And what this is gonna do is hold the bottom chain to the sprocket, and we can focus on the top, at least for now. 2 bolts hold the tensioner on. Alright, so I got the tensioner on. I'm gonna bottom out these bolts, and what I'm gonna have to do is I'm gonna take off the bottom zip tie to give me slack, so I can throw in the guide on it.
45 inch-pounds.
Yeah, that feels good. So that's torqued on.
German torque.
German torque. This is actually metal. It's not gonna break apart. If anything's gonna break, it's gonna break here. And hopefully it doesn't break at all. This one on. And install it before you snug it down. And now what I'm going to do is cut the zip tie on the bottom. As I'm trying to keep the chains aligned, pull some slack on this to slide in the other arm, this arm right here. There you go. Alright, so I'm tightening in the bottom, or putting in the bottom alignment thing. Verify that our markings are still aligned. They are. I'm gonna go under. Down here they're still aligned. Well, all tension is off now. There is no slack whatsoever. Oh, that's it right there. But on this side, from the bottom of the gear to the top of the camshaft gear, no slack whatsoever. All right, here it is, ready to go in. All right, let's go slow. Try to line it up. All right, so I forgot to record putting all these in, but I'm going over them now, and just use that for reference. Everything lined up perfect. I didn't have to shimmy anything, so that's amazing. Yeah, and I'm just torquing it down to whatever factory manual torque specs are. Sure.
Guden type.
Guden type. Yeah, there you go. I'm gonna just clean off the oil pan, and I'll get to you when I'm putting it on. Getting this ready. I already cleaned off the surface. Alright, what I'm doing now is tightening down the motor mount. I forgot to tell you about the oil pan. Got the oil pan in, except that one bolt. Now that I think about it, I forgot it. Put that oil pan in, or is in. I put the motor mount bolt in. He's doing the other side. Torque it down, and we'll go to the next step. This comes in from the bottom. This goes in from here. This D part, what I mean by D is, I think I said it earlier, the half moon supposed to be coming out of here. We got to make sure that it's pointing how it was before, which you can't. I wiped it off, but pretty much pointing directly forward. So I'm going to play around with it, coming back and forth. Like, we're going to have to bring it out, bring it in and stuff to make sure that that D, half moon or whatever, is the backwards D. So the rounded part is facing forward. That's the only reference picture I have. It has to be roughly around that, or it has to be that. But I might be a tooth off, so I'm gonna mess around with it. But anyways, I'm gonna throw a gasket on here, clean this off, new gasket right there, and try to get this on the first try. If not, we will pull it out and rotate it and go in again. That might be spot on.
Be a lot easier with that mark you had.
Alright, now everything's back together. There we go. I'm gonna let it warm up, go take it for a drive. And yeah, but that's how you do a timing chain.